Fika, fika, fika. Everybody in Sweden fika. Fika morning, fika evening, fika night. I think that's a funeral happening. I love this church. Hey everyone, welcome back to Kem Alex's channel. Okay, I am basically outside. I had to leave Alex inside the house because he's currently studying for an exam that he has this coming week. So I decided to just take a walk up to this beautiful church that's right next door us. So we live basically just right across, well, no, across there. Yeah. Oh, and here's the church. It's like, well, it's not like, it is my absolute favorite church here in Stockholm. So yeah, I'm madly in love with this church. It's called Sofias Kyrka, which means Sophia's church in English. No matter how many times I walk past this church, like when we're taking our nightly or daily walks, I just have to look at it all the bloody time. Like, it's just so full of details, and it's like there's always something new to see on the church whenever I'm passing. So, okay, let me fix my AF. Yeah, and I don't know, my eyes are basically swollen today. And I don't look like I've woken up. It's just like what the darkness does to you. You know, you have no energy, and it's just, especially for a person of color, well, not really. I mean, the body needs some sun, like vitamin D. So yeah, this is the downside of winters here. It's just always dark, you're always tired, you always feel sleepy, your eyes get baggy, you get soggy. And it's so easy for one to become depressed in this weather. Anyhow, what I came here for is to tell you guys about a few things that I found really interesting when I came here to Sweden. So, too bad Alex have to be out of this one. He's already a Swede. He knows how things run here. But yeah, this was basically just different for me. Okay, so the first thing I noticed when I came here actually was that a majority of the Swedes here, they speak English. I mean, I found that really interesting, knowing that their native tongue is Swedish, but they speak English. Like, even the little kids, they learn Swedish as young as maybe 5, if not younger, English. And it's kind of cool when you hear them out in public and they're talking English. You're like, oh, so cute. I think Sweden is ranked, if not number 1, but in top 5 for best English speakers among people who their native tongue aren't English. So that was one thing I noticed here. The second thing that I noticed when I came here was that people here are very much reserved. People keep their distance, they keep themselves to themselves. You don't get to pass and just say hi to anybody. I mean, you can, but don't expect an answer back, because you just might not get anything. So people here are very to themselves. It's not really easy to say let's make, like, you can make a friend pretty easily out in public. The best way you make friends here in Sweden is if you're basically in the same social group, like maybe school, work, or maybe when you're at a bar and you're drinking alcohol and then the Swedes open up. That's the best time when Swedes open up, when they have a little alcohol in them. Otherwise, it's not so easy to make friends here. They can be very concrete on the outside, but when you actually get to know a Swede, they're like the sweetest sweethearts. They're sweethearts. Okay, that's a lame joke. Okay, yeah, so it's hard to make friends here when in public, just like so. Maybe if you're in like a smaller community though, like not the city like where I'm at right now, and it's a smaller community and people know each other, and so maybe then it's easier. The next thing that I noticed when I came here was that Swedes are always on time, very much on time. Like if they say a specific event or thing is supposed to happen at, let's say, 8 o'clock, it's gonna happen 8 o'clock, not 5 minutes after 8, not 5 minutes before 8, 8 o'clock on the dot. And you know, as a Jamaican, that was something really hard to get used to. I'm still struggling to this point to be on time. I'm always late for things, always late, because I don't know time. And I mean a lot of people can relate to that, people of color. they say, but yeah, that's one thing that I realized. Swedes are always on time, even with the transportation system. I remember the first time I took the bus here, and it was scheduled to arrive at around, let's just say 12, and it came exactly at 12, and I was so surprised, like, what the hell, Alex, how do you guys even know that it's gonna be here at 12? Because coming from Jamaica, nothing is orderly, especially not the transportation system, you know, like the cars, the bus is like, if you see one, and then you flag it down, and that's just it. So that was really pretty new. And guys, if you hear me like pulling up in my nose, and so it's because it's cold and I'm getting a little moisture in my nose, and my camera lens is being smogged by the rain. Let me just clean you up there. The next thing I realized when I came here first time was that Sweden is basically on the verge or in the process of becoming a cashless system. So people here don't use money, like physical money, a lot. It's mostly their credit or the debit cards. So at a lot of stores here don't take cash, it has to be a card. And while at some supermarkets you can pay with your money. So that's another thing, to have less money being physical money that is being circulated. For some reason, I don't know why, but I know Alex would have an answer for that. Another thing that I saw that was interesting, I saw someone posted a comment on the last video that he or she didn't expect Stockholm to have nature. Well, Stockholm, Sweden on the whole, has a lot of nature. The thing is, Stockholm is like a combination of a few or quite a lot of islands. So we have a lot of archipelago, a lot of nature, a lot of forest that you can walk in, and it's accessible wherever you are in the city. And we have a thing here in Sweden that we call allemansrätten. That means you can basically roam the nature as like however you want, wherever you want. Like the nature belongs to everybody. Nobody can just say, oh, this piece of nature is mine. It's all yours. So yeah, you do whatever you want in the nature. You go whenever you want, and yeah, it's for us to live and to enjoy. So that's pretty cool, I would say. Another interesting thing that I noticed that I actually like is that alcohol, you can only get it at this company or store that's called Systembolaget. So it's basically an alcohol store. That's all it sells, and that's where you can only get most type of alcohol, and you have to be 20 years and over to purchase alcohol there, and it's not open on a Sunday. So yeah, you have to buy just alcohol there, and maybe in the supermarkets you can get like just simple stuff, like maybe I think the closest thing I see to a beer in the supermarket is probably Heineken, and the rest are lower than that, like very low percentage of alcohol. But yeah, and maybe you can buy alcohol at a restaurant, like strong alcohol at a restaurant, if you're like 18 years and over, but as Systembolaget you have to be 20 years and more. So yeah, only one place to get alcohol, and that's there. So there's one word that I always hear here in Sweden, and that word is fika. Fika, fika, fika. Everybody in Sweden fika. Fika morning, fika evening, fika night. So basically fika, there's not an English word to translate to fika, but it's basically having a coffee and a pastry in between sometime during the day. Like you just go to a cafe with a friend, a co-worker, a family member, and you just sit to have a fika. Maybe that's some kanel, a Swedish, some cinnamon bun and coffee or tea, but mostly coffee. And it's basically just having a snack in between the day. And that's fika. Swedes fika every single day. Like Alex's grandma, she's queen of fika. You can't come to her house and not have fika. You have to have coffee and some type of pastry that she has baked or something. So yeah, fika. So if you hear a Swede or ever hear anybody talking about fika, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, now I decided to just walk a little because it was getting pretty cold just sitting still there, and I started to shake. The camera started to shake. Yeah, so the next thing is probably not the best thing that I like about Sweden is the social benefits. So Swedes have access to free healthcare. Yeah, you don't pay for healthcare basically. The next thing is also free education. So you are, as long as you're a Swedish citizen or a resident here in Sweden, you have access to free education in the university. So you don't pay tuition. Maybe you just would probably pay for like the books that you need for the courses, and most often you can get those at the library. So you don't pay for that. And a matter of fact, the government pays you to study, which I find pretty cool. So you get free money every month that you don't have to pay back to the government to study. So yeah, the government pays you to study. How sick is that? No tuition. So I think it's so cool that a lot of Swedes, they are able to just be independent at a very young age because of these things. So yeah, and you get really long vacation leaves. You get 5 weeks vacation leave. Yeah, so most people try to get those vacation in like the summer or in the coldest time, which is like maybe December, January or so. And the next thing is that we don't only get maternal leave here in Sweden, we get paternal leave also. So the mom and the dad can be off from work. And I think in total the number is like, let me see, let me just check on my phone here. Both mom and dad gets 430 days off. So that's 1.5 years. And that's pretty cool. And you get those leave with subsidies. So you get a portion of your pay and all that stuff. So you're not off in vain, and yeah, it's pretty good. I think I'm gonna end on the last point, that I think even though things can be free here, things can be really expensive. Like comparing to Norway though, for example, Norway is on top of the list. Norway is mad expensive, but Sweden falls just below that. Like having a meal at a restaurant or a beer at a bar, all that stuff, eating out, it's really, I don't know if you guys can see that I'm shaking, I'm pretty cold. Oh my god, this tropical girl is not made for this climate. Oh, I think it's pretty expensive. And apartments, housing, it's really expensive also, depending on where you live. Here in town it's expensive, but if you live more in the countryside or so, it's better. I mean, I think the Nordic countries are expensive on a whole, but I can speak of Sweden because that's what I know. I can speak of Norway also because Alexander is half Norwegian, his dad is Norwegian, and we went there last year and things were mad expensive, like yeah. And I think now that I'm freezing my ass off and you guys can see it and I'm embarrassing myself, I'm just gonna end the video here. I'm gonna go home to Alex. Hopefully he's done studying. I'm gonna get some warm hugs. I'm gonna make some Jamaican chocolate. I brought some chocolate balls from Jamaica, and I think I'm just gonna make some of that with some coconut milk right now, and then just have it cozy, edit this video, and yeah, it was good talking to you guys. And if you realize that I was talking a bit weird in the beginning, I think I was just pretty nervous for vlogging outside for the first time like this. It's something that I'm gonna have to get used to, but otherwise from that, it was cool talking to you, and hopefully you more than likely will see Alex in our next video. This one I just chose to do without him, so you guys don't have to wait too long for us to post again. And yeah, once his exam is done, it's smooth sailing from there. So until then guys, I'll see you in our next video. Bye.